He buried all 7 dismembered bodies under his own bed and then called the police himself to brag about it. When the police kicked open the door to the crime scene, the house was filled with black tomato sauce, and floating in it were plenty of someone's teeth and fingernails. What's even more horrifying is that the real killer would actually take the body parts out every week to wipe them clean, then sit and drink with them, chatting as if nothing had happened. It wasn't until the forensic team pried up the floorboards that the truth was finally revealed, and the youngest of the victims was only 14 years old. Follow Old Lei to look into the case. Everyone can be a great detective. Late at night, the emergency call center received a bizarre report.
Hello? This is 110.
A voice neither male nor female repeatedly whispered, "I killed someone, I killed someone." They also gave an address, number 37, Lin Family Residence, Warning Road. Dobi dobi do. 2 police officers quickly arrived at the scene. Number 37, Lin Family Residence, was located in a place known in Feng Shui as a scissor's mouth, a spot believed to bring misfortune. Even before getting close, one could feel an overwhelming sense of oppression. As the young officer was about to enter the storage room, he caught a glimpse of a fluttering white figure out of the corner of his eye. Looking closely, he realized it was just a white dress hanging on a clothes rack. Before he could regain his composure, he felt as if he had stepped on something sticky and slippery underfoot. Suddenly, a strong smell of blood filled the air. When the officer shone his flashlight, his scalp tingled instantly. There was a thick layer of congealed, blackened blood all over the floor. But what was truly baffling was that, aside from this large pool of blood, there were no traces of any human remains at the scene, not even signs of a struggle. Where on earth did all this blood come from? The veteran officer's expression grew grave, and suddenly, as if something had just occurred to him, his eyes lit up. It turned out that decades ago, back in the late 1980s, a shocking murder had taken place here. A mentally disturbed tenant had brutally murdered a girl under the age of 14 who lived downstairs and had even decapitated her. Although the killer was sentenced, the girl's head was never found, and this place became infamous as a haunted crime scene. Could it be that this now blackened bloodstain and the strange emergency call are connected to the headless girl murder case from years ago? Following the clues, the police quickly found the person who made the call, a strangely dressed, flamboyant young man. When pressed by the police, he suddenly changed his story, claiming he had never killed anyone, and that he called the police only to enlist their help in finding the missing head of his sister, who was murdered decades ago. It turned out that this flamboyant young man was the biological younger brother of the headless female victim from back then. Ever since his sister was wrongfully killed, he has dreamed of her almost every Thursday. In his dreams, his sister would say, "My head hurts so much." Her hair was always dripping with water, and she hoped her brother could help her. She also told her brother that the real cause of her death was not being killed by a mentally ill person, but rather by the owner of this haunted house. Although the police had no evidence at the time, they still immediately went to find the landlord, Lin Zhonghua. Unexpectedly, as soon as Lin Zhonghua saw the police at his door, he became extremely nervous and kept avoiding eye contact. Before the police could even ask him a few questions, his psychological defenses completely collapsed, and he revealed another chilling truth. It turned out that after Lin Zhonghua's business failed, he was driving past the old house. When his car reached an intersection, he accidentally hit a young girl in a white dress. At that time, the girl was still breathing, softly moaning that she wanted to go home. Lin Zhonghua and his son originally wanted to help, but were harshly stopped by his inhuman wife, who was afraid that their family troubles would be exposed. In the brief time they argued, the girl's life quietly slipped away. Terrified, they decided to transport the body to the abandoned Lin family house and bury it there. Once inside the house, that inhuman old woman even wanted to use scissors to disfigure the girl's face to prevent identification. As they stripped the girl's clothes to deal with the body, looking at that young figure, Lin Zhonghua suddenly thought of his own daughter. In the end, his conscience prevailed, and he gave up on disfiguring her, but he still cruelly severed the girl's head. The tomato sauce all over the storeroom floor was actually the blood spilled at that time. From then on, it was as if Lin Zhonghua had unlocked his inner potential, awakening a second personality. He became unstoppable, constantly searching for new victims. By the time he was caught, he had already harmed 7 innocent young girls. Everything finally came to light. There was no premeditated murder, only a chain of tragic events triggered by human cowardice and selfishness after a car accident. Based on Lin Zhonghua's confession, the police found those 7 black plastic bags under his own bed. The case was finally revealed to the public. Justice may be delayed, but it will never be absent.